I am Ritu Khanra, Assistant Professor, GC University. I am teaching you um, Pharmaceutical Inorganic Chemistry. Its code number is BPT 104. Today's topic is impurities. In this video, I will discuss about what is impurities and what are the sources of impurities in pharmaceutical chemicals. Impurities in pharmaceutical substances. Chemical purity means freedom from foreign matter. However, it is very costly to manufacture chemical substance of absolute purity. The pharmacopoeia prescribe various tests for purity for each substance and also fix limit of tolerance for certain impurities such as for arsenic, lead, heavy metal, iron, chloride, and sulfate, etc. These impurities are commonly present in pharmacopoeial substance, although in trace or very small amount. So, how can I define impurities? The definition of impurities is impurities means foreign matter which impair the purity of chemicals. Impurities are either naturally occurring or added. It may be toxic. It is able to make the substance incompatible with other substance. It may be decreases the medicinal value as well as the physical properties of the substances. Sources of impurities in pharmaceutical chemicals. If we know the process which is employed in the manufacture of a substance, the composition of raw material used, the properties of the substance itself, and its behavior in normal and abnormal conditions of storage, we can think of impurities which may possibly be present in it. The sources of impurities in pharmaceutical chemicals are as follows: raw material under process of manufacturing, process used in manufacturing, reagent, solvent, equipment, intermediate, chemical method, defect in manufacturing process. Another point, manufacturing hazard, storage condition, and last point is accidental or deliberate adulteration. Raw material. If impurities are present in the raw materials like ore, metal, etc., which are used in the preparation of pharmaceutical chemicals, then these may be carried through during the manufacturing process to the final product. Thus, the final product may be contaminated with these impurities. Reagents used in the manufacturing processes. If reagents which are used in the manufacturing process are not completely removed by the washing, these may still be present in the final product. Precipitated calcium carbonate is prepared by the interaction of the solution of calcium chloride and sodium carbonate. The precipitate of calcium carbonate has to be washed thoroughly to completely remove excess of sodium carbonate and the soluble chloride. If the precipitate is not properly washed, these may be present as impurities. Next point, solvent. Water is the most commonly used solvent in the pharmaceutical preparation, but water serves as sources of many impurities. Various different type of water produce different type of impurities like soft water, demineralized water, distilled water, etc. Equipment. The material of the equipments or reaction vessels may react with the reagent as well as solvent which was used in the manufacturing process and may contribute to impurities in the end product. Generally, reaction vessels are made up of copper, iron, galvanized iron, lead, etc. They may produce toxic material in the final product. Equipment must be inert. Example of inert material is stainless steel. If equipment are prepared by iron, then arsenic as an impurity is there. And if equipments are glass, then alkali also impurities. Intermediate. Sometimes an intermediate substance produced during the manufacturing process may be carried through to the final product. For example, potassium iodide is prepared by interaction of potassium hydroxide and iodine. The resulting solution is evaporated to dryness and the residue is heated with charcoal. In this preparation, potassium iodide is an intermediate product, and if it is not completely converted into Ki, then it may be present as an impurity in the final product, which is not desirable, and hence pharmacopoeia prescribe a test for iodate in potassium iodide. Chemical method. For preparation of drug, many type of reaction like nitration, oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, etc. are involved. Incomplete chemical reaction may produce impurities in the final product. Example, potassium iodide is manufactured from the iodine which is obtained from kelp. A seaweed cyanide tend to get formed when nitrogenous organic matter is burned with alkali. Limit tests have been prescribed for cyanide in potassium iodide. Defect in manufacturing process. Defects such as imperfect mixing, incompleteness of reaction, non-adherence to proper temperature, pressure, pH, or reaction condition, etc., may result in the production in chemical compounds with impurities in them. For example, one of the methods to manufacture zinc oxide involved in heating metallic zinc to bright redness in a current of air. The vapor of the metal burn to form zinc oxide, which is collected as fine white powder. If zinc metal is not completely converted into zinc oxide, a small amount of zinc metal may still remain as such in the final product. Therefore, Indian Pharmacopoeia prescribe a test for zinc metal in zinc oxide. Different types of manufacturing hazards are also involved in this process. Type of hazards are particulate contamination, cross-contamination, process error, microbial contamination, packaging error may also produce impurities. Storage condition. Storage condition depends on the efficacy and stability of the product. It must be stored in definite type of condition, container, temperature, and environment. Container may be plastic, polyethylene, iron, stainless steel, etc. Here, I use one example. Ferrous sulfate, when exposed to moist air, readily undergoes slow oxidation and get coated with brown basic ferric sulfate, which is an impurity. Therefore, it should be stored in well-closed container. Another example, iodine react with rock, cork, rubber, or some metal. Therefore, it has to be stored in glass bottle fitted with glass topper. Iodine may contain impurities if it is stored in a container made of metal with which it reacts, or its topper of the container are of rubber or cork. Accidental or deliberate adulteration, substitution of a pure product with spurious, cheap, inferior, and defective or toxic substance is termed as adulteration. Accidental adulteration can be prevented by proper precaution. There are many chemicals which are adulterated with the cheaper substance. The expensive KBR may be adulterated with the cheaper NBR. Okay, you have to practice some question. Most important questions are what is impurities and what are the sources of impurities. You have to practice both of these. These are the references. Thank you for listening my words.